Are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
So pinpoint, so accurate. Sometimes we forget just how good he is. We start to take him for granted because he always places the ball exactly where it needs to be for his receivers.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. On second down, a run with Lindsey. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. He's got the hook up to Lee. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, and he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
He's got his tight end fan. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And he fends him off. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Here's Rodgers. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Rosas good with the extra point. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Now it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
No, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
He's got it to Williams. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. A little check down to Lindsey. Oh, now Lindsey lost the football. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congrats.
There he goes, right side. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A big play there. 53 yards. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. After one, a 14-3 ball game. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. To throw, it's Rodgers. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 48-yard line. He'll look to throw, escaping the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Whitehead. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That really sets them back. A loss of 6. On 2nd down now, it's Lindsey. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. The Broncos on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the 2nd quarter. And all the way down to the 42. An outstanding pickup there for the Chiefs. 45 yards. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 22 yards there, a first down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator, but my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Flush to his right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. A four-receiver look here. 3 out to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 8. Throwing is Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. This time they stay on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout?
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Hill on the return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throws right side, and that's complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. So we read. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that
through an opening, and there he goes. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. Watch out for Hill on the return. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down. Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Now a handoff here to his running back. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard, stop short of the 35. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs. And again this time to the tailback. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. 2nd and 14. Bear in mind, and he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. From 17 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets...
And he loses the football a 2nd time.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. From just shy of midfield, Rodgers. This is the tight end fan. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll take a shot for the end zone. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. And that looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. They'll look to throw. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Well, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
Dante Hightower on the stop. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll go again with Lindsey. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it,
fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not. Did not get back there. It's a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. And now they're in the hurry-up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll rifle this one deep right. This is caught at the 20. A big play there for KC. 58 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. That's on Kelechi Osemele, the guard.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're... And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out there to start their next drive, Phillip Lindsay and the Broncos. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. It's Williams on the catch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. Rodgers now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. They'll try to draw Lindsay. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he'll take it across midfield and down the 48-yard line. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. It's Hill, complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A gain there of 21 yards. They'll look to throw here on first down. His throw caught right around the 6. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys continue to pour it on. And if the late touchdown wasn't bad enough, now they're going to go for 2. So sportsmanship nowhere to be found right here. Again, he'll drop to throw. And it's caught for 2 points. Very interesting way to end this one. They add on a couple extra that they really didn't need. Partner, I think the thing I'm going to take away from this game is that ending. Still hard to believe they score on the final play, and then for some salt on the wound, they go for 2 just to widen the margin.
Not to mention, they already had the lead when they scored on the final play. So I don't know if everyone on the team is a fantasy football player, and they're like, hey, get more points for our guys. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe a coach is looking ahead and saying, you know something, the more points we have might be the tiebreaker. But, boy, what a way to finish it.
So for Kansas City,